The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 16th chapter, text number 12, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on January 9th, 1974, in Los Angeles.
Translation. Maharaj Parikshit then conquered all parts of the earthly planet, Bhadrashva, Ketumala, Bharata, the northern portion of Kurujangala, Kimpurusha, etc., and exacted tributes from their respective rulers.
So in this verse it is descriptive, different parts of the world. So the important word is here, Vijitva Jagrihi Balim. Balim, I do not know how it is said, strength, tax, tributes. The king, the emperor, would conquer a country and levy tax, must give at least token. It doesn't matter, even £1 or $1 per year, but he must pay something, token. That means he agrees to become subordinate. Just like according to Rent Act, a poor man must pay something, it may be, in our country it is so. So that the landlord has the claim. Without rent, after some years it becomes his property. So, this conquering of other countries was not like the Napoleon conqueror or Hitler conqueror. No. As it will be evident from the character of Maharaj Parikshit, the idea was to keep the whole world Krishna conscious. If certain countries, certain parts of the world would not be Krishna conscious, then this king would go and chastise them. Just like Krishna used to kill the demons. There was one Pondra, even during Krishna's time. He placed himself as Vishnu. He artificially made 4 hands. So he challenged Krishna that I am Vishnu. So Krishna immediately cut his head. So any impostor, pretender, representing as the incarnation of God or something like that, in those days the king would not tolerate. Immediately cut his head. What to speak of thieves and rogues. So, the kings going to other country, conquering, it did not mean that to acquire some position, land position. No, that was not the aim. The aim was all the fights in Mahabharata or in Ramayana, it was meant for chastising the godless. Godless. Just like Ramchandra. Lord Ramchandra chastised Ravan. So he went to Lanka, they call Ceylon, and crossed the sea by making bridge. But what was the idea? The idea was that this rascal, demon, is a godless person. So therefore, he must be punished. He was punished not alone. Anyone who joined with him, everyone was punished. But Lord Ramchandra did not occupy the land for his kingdom. He installed his brother Vibhishan, who was a devotee, in the place of Ravana. Just like Krishna. Krishna was taking part in the battlefield of Kurukshetra and inducing Arjuna that you fight. Arjuna was not willing to fight, but he was inducing to fight. So what is the purpose? Because the other party represented thieves, rogues, and demons. Krishna wants, therefore, somebody must be king who is his representative, devotee. That is the whole plan. Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamaham paritranayam sadhunam vinashaya siddhiskita dharma sansthapanarthaya. This is the purpose. Dharma sansthapanarthaya. To establish religious principle. If people become irreligious, then the whole world becomes a hell. Just like at the present moment. Anywhere you go, it is hellish condition. Nobody is peaceful, nobody is happy, although materially very much advanced. Political entanglement, social entanglement, religious entanglement, economic entanglement, simply entanglement. No peaceful living, anyone. Just like at the present moment, the whole world, there is, what is that crisis? Power crisis, energy crisis, energy crisis. So, crisis must be there. Otherwise, if you live peacefully, even within so many crises, war and fighting, we are thinking this world is very nice. In spite of all these difficulties, especially in the Western countries, every 10 years there is a war. First World War, Second World War. Before that, 100 years war, 7 years war, Trafalgar War, Waterloo War, war. There cannot be any peaceful life because everyone is rogue and rascal. So there must be one. There must be punishment by nature. As soon as there is overpopulation, there is Malthus theory also. That as soon as there is overpopulation, there must be something disturbance. War, pestilence, epidemic, and finish. Finish. The extra population, unnecessary. Varna Sankar. They are called Varna Sankar. Varna Sankar, because by nature there must be Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. By nature. That should be organized. Head is head, tail is tail. Not that head, tail, everything is one. That is called Varna Sankar. Krishna, Arjuna has argued that if the family members, the woman becomes widow, then there will be Varna Sankar population. Varna Sankar population means a population who cannot say who is his father. That is Varna Sankar. Or which caste does he belong? What is his father? What is his family? No, nothing. No information. That is called Varna Sankar. So, when the Varnasankar population increases, then the whole world becomes hell. So, in order to save the world to become hellish, the king was so alert. That is also bhakti. Because the whole natural plan is to come back to home, back to body. This is nature's plan. David Jisha Gunamai Mama Maya Durattaya. Just like the police department. What is the meaning of police department? Why government spends so much money for police department? They have to keep law and order. There must be. As soon as there is disobedience of law and order, immediately police department must go and punish and arrest. We can experience these things. Simply by God's side, there is such department, police department. There is Maya, Durga Devi. Durga Devi, you have seen, most of you might not have seen Durga Devi's picture with trident in the hand. The Asura is being attacked by the trident. So this trident means threefold miseries. You have seen the picture, the mother, goddess Durga, is piercing the trident and just here on the heart. This trident means threefold miseries. Adhyatik, Adhibhautik, Adhidvaivik. I have several times explained. Pertaining to the body and mind, pertaining to the other living entities, Adhibhautik, Adhidvaivik, pertaining to the nature's disturbance. So always we must be disturbed. If everything is all right, just like in your country, supposing everything is all right, but what is that severe disease? Cancer. No. The cancer, people are afraid of cancer. Or something else. Must be. You cannot live peacefully. That is not possible. Devidhi Shagunami Mama Maya Durattaya. But the foolish rascals, they cannot understand that I want to live peacefully, happily. Why these things are enforced upon me? That is consciousness, real consciousness. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to suffer from disease. Nobody wants to be suffering from any calamity. Or nobody wants that there should be fire. Let us see, especially in America, you see, dun 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 dun, that going on, fire brigade. But nobody wanted fire. But the fire brigade is alert because there must be fire somewhere. That is expected. That is expected. And if there is fire, there will be havoc. So nobody wants the havoc, but it takes place. It takes place. This is in nature's law. Because as soon as dharma saglani bhavati, tadatmanam srijamaha, there may not be discrepancies in the process of religious life. That is nature's law. So, what is that religion? That is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parittajya mamekam. This is religion. To surrender to God. It doesn't matter what religion you profess. It doesn't matter. But you must learn how to obey the supreme law. That is religion. Religion does not mean that you stamp some stereotyped religion. I am Christian, I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am Buddhist, and then fight. That is not religion. That is fanaticism. Religion means how one has become devoted to God. That is religion. Savai pungsang paro dharma jato bhakti radhokhaji. You claim to be religious, or you claim to be Hindu or Christian or Buddhist, that's all right. But do you know what is God? Oh, everyone silent. Everyone, all nonsense, rascal, silent. He doesn't know what is God and what is his religion. If you do not know what is God, a fake idea, that is not religion. You must know what is God. Just like to become American citizen, it requires to know something of the history of America. So if American citizen, if you ask him, what you are? I am American. Who is your president? I do not know. What is this nonsense, America? Would you like to hear from him that I do not know who is president? Similarly, a human being professing some certain type of religion, but you ask him, what is God? Religion must be in relationship with God, any religion. But ask him, what is God? No answer. But religion means Savai pungsang paro dharma jato bhakti adho khaji ahituki apratihata jenatma samprasidati. This is religion. First class religion. What is that first class religion? Jato bhakti radho khaji. By practicing which one becomes a devotee of the Lord. That is religion. That is religion. So instead of becoming devotee of the Lord, we are devotee of dog. This is our position. So in order to save the human society from this dangerous condition, without any knowledge of God, without any knowledge of religious principle, there must be some strong kings, strong government to save the people. Because this human life is a chance. Other inferior type of life, animals, birds, bees, trees, it is not possible. They are also living entities. But human life is developed consciousness. So this is nature's gift that now you try to understand what is God. Now you try to understand what is your relationship with God. Now you practice yourself how to go back home, back to home. Back. This is the business of the human society. So unless the king or government looks after it, how people will be advanced. The government is advocating that you drink, you eat meat, you have prostitution and gambling and give me tax. Finish. My business is finished. Parikshit Maharaj was not like that. Parikshit Maharaj is conquered all these places to serve Krishna, to teach Krishna consciousness. Therefore he conquered. Otherwise, that is the business of all devotee. Yesterday we were speaking of Digvijaya. So every devotee should be so sincere to Krishna or God that he must execute Krishna's mission. Krishna himself comes. Krishna comes as devotee. When he came personally, he established his position as God with all opulences, 6 opulences, and he asked through Arjuna, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. This is Krishna's demand. You rascal, because we are all parts and parcel of Krishna, we are suffering. Manasasthani indriyani prakritisthani karusati. A great struggle for existence within this material world simply by mental speculation. Mana, sasthani indriyani. And then the indriyas are misguided, simply sense gratification, not for controlling the senses. Human life means to control the senses, not to open the senses, naked. This is not human life. The control, that is the distinction between animal and human life. Animal cannot control. The human civilized man must have the capacity to control. That is human civilization. That is called tapasya. Tapasya brahmacharjena. Jamina, daminava. This is human life. So Parikshit Maharaj, in so many ways, he was king, emperor, not for exploiting the citizen, but to give them real sense, real consciousness, so that they may become happy. And we can read some of the description of the places we have selected from Mahabharata. Read it. Part.
Bhadrashva. It is an island near Meru Parvat. There is a description of this island in Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva, 7:16 through 18. The description was narrated by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Maharaj Yudhishthir also conquered this island, and thus the province was included within the jurisdiction of his empire. Maharaj Parikshit was formally declared to be emperor of all lands ruled by his grandfather, but still he had to establish his supremacy while he was...
This island might have changed the name because there are so many islands, just like the Java Island, the Lakshadweep Island, very small island. Similarly, this Meru is also another island. Not only these small islands, but according to Vedic culture, each planet is called island. Each planet. Just like this planet, earthly planet, is called Jambudweep. Why it is called Deep? Deep means island. Because actually it is island of the air. Just like there are so many islands in the sea, similarly this vast air, outer space, and all these planets are floating like island. Therefore they are called island, Deepa, Jambudweep. That here in this earthly planet, long ago, it is said in the Vedic literature, Saptadweepa. Sapta means seven. So this earthly planet is of seven dweepa, seven islands. These two Americas, North and South, they are islands. Africa, one island. And combine Asia and Europe, another island. The two poles, two islands. Australia, another island. This, you see, Saptadweepa. So they say they discovered America. So, but this discovery was long, many millions of years it was known. Where is the discovery? That poor fund of knowledge. Because they have no knowledge in the Vedic literature, they think now I discovered. Just like a child born, he thinks, now I discovered the world. Before my birth there was no world. This kind of knowledge called poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, knowledge must be taken from the Vedic literature. Veda means full knowledge. And that full knowledge, when it is properly utilized, then you can understand Krishna. Vedaishta sarvai ahamiva vedyam. First of all, you have to take to the Vedic literature for real knowledge. And when you come to the platform of real knowledge, then you can understand Krishna. Before knowing Krishna, you are in darkness. You are in darkness. Because it is said, Vedaishta sarvai, Veda means knowledge. The ultimate goal of knowledge is to understand Krishna. And therefore it is called Vedanta. Vedanta, Veda means knowledge. And Anta means the ultimate. Vedanta. Vedanta philosophy. The Vedanta philosophy gives you direction that what is the object of knowledge. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now, object of knowledge to understand the Supreme, the origin of everything. That is object of knowledge. Philosophy. Philosophy means science, anything. Science also trying. What is the original cause of this creation? What is the original cause of life? But because andhajathandhiripuniyamana, the so-called philosophers, scientists, they have been taught by another unscientist, not scientist. So he is also not scientist, not philosopher, because he has been taught by another andha. Just like one blind man leads other blind man. So what will get knowledge? So therefore, according to Vedic civilization, it is enjoined, it is ordered that if you want to take knowledge, tad vijnanartham, to understand the complete science, tad vijnanartham, the spirit, sa gurumeva avigachet, you must approach a bona fide guru. Otherwise there is no knowledge. That's not knowledge. So Vedic knowledge is so perfect that this Bharatvarsha, 7 islands. Now the 7 islands is still there. You cannot make 8 or 9 or 6. The 7 islands are still there. The 7 islands means within 7 islands, the 2 Americas, North and South America are there. So why it is called Columbus? Columbus discovered. No, it was already in the Vedic literature. You'll find in Shankaracharya's, when Columbus discovered America, how many years ago? 200 years? 500 years. And Shankaracharya has described about the 7 islands 1,500 years ago. So why the credit should go to Columbus? It should go to Shankaracharya. But andhajathandhirupanyamana, he said that I have discovered. So he was talking, perhaps you know this story. He was talking among his friends. So the friends ridicule another friend. So they were criticizing, for nothing you got some credit that you have discovered America. What you have done? It was already there. So he said, yes, that is knowledge. Things are already there, but one who puts it into the forefront of the public, that is credit. So actually everything is existing. We have to simply take the knowledge. The modern method is ascending process. The knowledge is there, but still they are trying to understand it by arohapantha, ascending process. It is called inductive knowledge. Inductive knowledge means that suppose the man is mortal. So the so-called scientists, they are trying to discover the law why man is mortal. They are studying, this man is mortal, this man is mortal, this man is mortal. Therefore, it is concluded that all men are mortal. Nobody is immortal. But another man will argue that you have not studied all the human society. How you can conclude? Therefore you must study. So this study will go on for life after life. They will never come to a person who is immortal. But they will protest that we cannot accept. But our process is deductive. We say that man is mortal, first of all. Therefore, John is a man, he also mortal. This is deductive process. First of all, you accept man is mortal. The inductive process is that why shall I accept man is mortal? I may not have seen a person who is immortal. So that argument can be given. But we accept this Vedic knowledge, the first premises, accept. Just like we accept that God is the source of everything. God says, Krishna says, that aham sarvasya prabhava mattas sarvam pravartate iti matya bhajanti manga buddha bhava samandita. Krishna says, I am the origin of everything. Everything emanates from me. Mattas sarvam prabhava. Sarvam means everything. There are two things, animate and what is the opposite? Inanimate. There are two things. So Krishna says, aham sarvasya prabhu. I am the source of both animate and inanimate. So Krishna, what is Krishna? Krishna is life, supreme life. Krishna is not dead. We are getting Krishna's description. He is not a dead body. These are things very, elaborately described in the Vedic literature. Thank you very much.